Rangers, welcome to the 2016-2017 school year. I'm Dr. Sutton, AP English teacher at Chisholm Trail High School. This year I'll be teaching AP English 3, AP English 4 in dual enrollment, and I've been at CTHS since the school opened back in 2012. I tend to spend a lot of time at the various activities with my wife and kids, so I look forward to seeing and being around and cheering on each and every one of you. Here's a little bit of information about the course that you're fixing to take with me. The AP English courses at Chisholm Trail are designed to provide students with collegiate experience in higher learning while they're still in high school. Specifically, the purpose of the AP English course is to enable students to read complex texts with understanding and to write prose of sufficient richness and complexity to communicate effectively with mature readers. Basically, you're going to learn to write at a very mature level, at a college level, and you're going to read a ton of materials in preparation for your AP exam. This course is about growth, and it's about building you, so be prepared to be challenged and prepare to grow. A few things before we begin our year together. First, I hope you have all completed your summer reading assignments. Each grade has their own assignment, and each assignment can be found on my teacher's website. Just go to the Chisholm Trail High School website, select Faculty, and then look for Sutton, David. On the left-hand navigation bar on my website, there are buttons for both of the AP summer reading assignments. Please pay careful attention to them. Each one has a different level of work that's expected, and you are going to be required to meet the objectives that are listed in them. Next, Canvas. We will be using Canvas as a campus and district once again this year, and to make certain that you have a chance to peruse the resources that I've placed on Canvas, my Canvas will become active at 3 p.m. this Friday. At that point, students will be able to use their information to log into Canvas and have a quick sneak peek of everything that I have planned for the first 6 weeks. I know that each of you have busy lives, and the fall is very full of activities: football, band, drill team, cheer, a whole wide array of things that y'all are going to be doing, including many of you having jobs and all outside of school time. So I want to be respectful of your time and let you know what's coming, what to expect, so that you can budget your time appropriately. Speaking of shared expectations, AP English is hard. It's really hard. And I don't let up at all. In fact, we start hard and then it just gets harder as we move along. Now, that's not to say that the subject matter doesn't get to be something that's easy, something that's manageable. It's not to say that you're going to fail or have a hard time where you can't pass. It is to say, however, that you are going to have to work. And I realize that I always have the top 10 graduates and all in my AP courses or in the AP program here. We have the top 25%. Many of you are kind of focused on whether or not you're going to get into college and have scholarships and opportunities provided for you to be able to fund your college experience and all without having to take out loans. Respecting that, I leave the decision of what your grade is going to be largely up to you. I'm going to grade every assignment honestly. I'm going to give you the grade that you earned. But in the case of the essays, which are the larger part of our course grades, minor grades, and even multiple choice assessments, I'm going to allow you to correct them and all for higher points. Now, multiple choice will just be corrected and all for a fraction of points and all depending on what you earn. But essays are allowed to be corrected for up to 100 points, provided nobody got a perfect 9 on the assignment. And I'll be honest, 9s don't often happen. Last year, they didn't actually start popping up until, I'd say, late in the 5th, 6 weeks, at which point, everybody was doing fairly well at that point in time. Now, the thing you have to keep in mind is for revisions, we're not going to be looking at going all the way up to a 100. If you are a lower performing student, as I say, you just earned a lower score because you haven't mastered the concepts of the writing style that we're working with, you're not going to jump several points. Our AP essays are rated on a scale of 1 to 9. I wouldn't expect you to go from, say, a 1 to a 9, but we're going to attempt to get you to climb 3 points up with your revisions. We're always going to shoot for 3 above where you actually landed. And with that, and with steady revisions and steady effort, we can get you up to the 9 eventually by the time we get to the AP test, if you're willing to work with me. That being the case, since I don't freeze the grades and all on essay assignments and I allow you to show mastery as we go through the process, that means a lot of the grades rest on you. What do you want? What are you going to earn? What are you going to prove to me that you deserve? Finally, many of you may be prepared to go out to Walmart or Target this weekend to buy school supplies, and so I want to provide you with a list of what I expect students to have in my class. I don't like spending a lot of cash, so it's pretty simple. First, dividers. I need at least a 4-pack of dividers for my class. If you need more dividers from another class, I'll buy a multiple pack of dividers and I'll move those over there. But I need 4 dividers that are going to be labeled tools, texts, literature circles, and essays. I'm providing the binder. Well, Dr. Barnes is providing the binder. 2, you need to have notebook paper, and you need to keep it stocked. I am not a repository of notebook paper. I do not keep a large supply of it in my classroom, and you're going to write a bunch, so you need to make certain that you have your own notebook paper in your binder stocked up and ready to go. If it runs low, please get more paper and restock it. I'm requesting 3 highlighters of different colors. I don't care what colors they are, but I would like 3. Pens. You need to have several pens in your possession. Pencils, they're okay, but they're really not a requirement for my class. You can take the multiple choice exams using a pen, and I can still scan them in. The AP writing pieces that you do for the AP exam, you write them in pen. If you make a mistake, you scratch it out. You don't erase. I want you to write in pen. I want you to be used to making those corrections under those circumstances. I don't want anything different than what you're going to face on the AP exam itself. And finally, sticky notes. You can use the large sticky notes, you can get packable small sticky notes, whatever you may want, but the sticky notes are useful for annotating text. The school text and all, we use novels and things like that. You can't write in our books, but you can put a sticky note in there and make a little note and all to yourself about what it is you're reading, what you're thinking, what's going on, which is the best place to put a note for a text, by the way, is in that book at that moment, at that time, at that space where you're thinking what you're thinking. Well, you can use your Post-it notes and all to make your notations, and then at the end of the time with that book, you just pull out the Post-it notes, throw them in the trash, and rock on, or transfer them over to a sheet of paper in your notebook, and then you have notes and all to help you remember what it is you read when it comes time to study for the AP exam. And that's it, 5 items. That's all I ask for. I don't need anything fancier than that. I do advise students to have their email address functioning here at the school. Jump drives are great to have for other classes, but we really don't need those materials in here because we're all about the AP exam. Which brings me to my last point, supposedly the finally. All students that enroll in my class are expected to take the AP exam. The AP exams cost, I believe, $92 per test, and for many of you, that means you're going to take several tests and be paying quite a bit of money. Please budget accordingly early in the year. We will have more than likely a district AP meeting where our district leaders for AP will come over. They'll talk about the costs, the registrations, and things like that. And then we typically start taking the money early for AP testing. Please budget it out far enough in advance so that you can actually be ready for it. And I'm also going to add, if you want to be successful on the AP exam, if you truly want to pass it, parents, if you want your kids to truly get that free college credit, well, $92 college credit, show up to my mock exams in the spring. Be at multiple mock exams. Practice the test under real circumstances. I give rewards and all if you show up to it, but the biggest reward is the fact that you should be able to pass the AP exam if you practice the essays, the multiple choice, all in real time. Well, I think that's enough information and all to give you before we actually meet for our first class. So with only a few days remaining till we begin, feel free to email me, dsutton@ems-isd.net, or jump on the Twitter and, of course, follow me at GoodDrSir. It's at GDDRSIR. And I will be happy to help you anytime I can. Until Monday.